Okay, can you see me okay? I'm not doing that. Hello? Just a flip chart? Okay. All right, can you see me now on my camera? I'm getting out of this. I'm going to log off on my camera and access this from my laptop. Sorry, everybody. Um, I thought this was fixed and it's not, so I'm still trying to figure this out. I apologize. The flip chart's backwards. Anyway, I'm going to access this from somewhere else. Okay, you see me live? Okay. All right, we'll do it this way. Dwayne Morgan, Dwayne C. So it's Dwayne C's with Wayne. The first. Okay, everybody see me? Okay. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Okay. Well, you just got. I'm back on the computer. Hello. I know, but I started a new one. Hello. Can you see me? I I see 103 on you. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to continue. Sorry about that. So there's two things I want to do today. It's what to do later and what to do now. So there's people making all these crazy decisions. Some make sense, some don't. Um, so when you look at the decisions either to gain pleasure or avoid pain, most of them right now are making to avoid pain. That's what I call a paradox. The paradox is you get what you avoid. So if you want to avoid pain, be careful because you're going to end up with it. So this is what I'm going to go over next. What can you do now and what can you do later that's going to help you prepare for catastrophes when they come? Because they're going to come. Oil's doing the same thing right now it did in 1983. And those of you that have been in class with me or events with me, you know my story. In 1983, I was in the heavy-duty truck parts business, selling parts to 18 winners running back and forth from the Houston Shep Channel to the West Texas oil patch. And what happens is the oil market collapsed, just like it did in the past 3 weeks. And the economy was booming with this oil crisis, this shortage in the late 70s. There were so many regulations and it collapsed. The oil industry collapsed. Same results, but different reasons. The reason it collapsed in the 80s was so many government regulations. It was so expensive to produce the oil, it became cheaper to import it than to drill and produce it domestically. So that's what started happening. We started importing it from Saudi Arabia and other Eastern Europe countries, or Middle East countries. So what happened this time, it's interesting because if you watch and if you listen to me, then you'll hear me say this over and over. Leverage is simply doing more with less. If you understand this, you understand why are they plowing the fields under? Because we have an abundance of food. We have a distribution problem. We don't have a supply problem. So when you look at economics, then this is what I see is every time the supply goes up and the demand goes down, then your price is going to fall. Price is going to follow demand. So we're meeting if the demand goes up, the supply goes up, and supply meets demand. You got a nice equilibrium. The economy's humming along. But if that demand falls, which is done because people can't buy it because the jobs went away, what happens is you've got all this supply up here. So that's going to drive the price down. Well, prices should come down anyway. So what's Trump doing to get the price back up? He's asking Russia and Saudi Arabia to produce less oil. So he's creating scarcity. The thing is, there's no such thing as scarcity. If you get this, you understand we live in a world of abundance. Prices should always come down. There's plenty for everyone. We have what? 2% of the population in agriculture right now. 100 years ago, 98% of the population was in agriculture. This 2% can produce all the world's food needs because we figured out how to do so much more with so much less out there in the fields. We don't need farmers anymore. So if you teach your kid to be a farmer, you're setting them up for failure because we don't need them. They're throwing milk away. they're grinding their crops up and leaving them in the field to rot. We've got plenty of food. We have a temporary distribution problem, and we have a temporary lack of demand. So what has that got to do with you? Plenty, okay? Because we're all interconnected. And I hear people every now and then, I hear this comment people will say, it doesn't matter. Everything matters. This is what happened to me in 1983. I got caught right here. It became cheaper to import than drill domestically. My business went away and I moved to Austin in 85 to start over. So I said to myself right then, that's never going to happen to me again. So I started studying. I started studying patterns and trends. I started reading about successful business people. I started studying finance. I started studying education. I started studying business. It was very painful 2 years of my life. Being broke, having no money, is extremely painful. I know how that feels. Believe me, it's not a good feeling. So I vowed I'm never going to go there again. I'm going to go learn what I need to learn, fix what I need to fix, and get this thing called money handled once and for all. So I did. So I met Lynn. Lynn and I set up some rules. So we have our own paradigms. Rule 1 in our house, everybody gets what they want. Rule number 2, you can't break the other rules to get it. Rule number 1, everybody gets what they want. That's the rule we agree on. I'm not going to say to her, these limiting thoughts like, let's say she wants to buy something really nice, something very expensive. What automatically a lot of people say? What do people automatically sometimes say? You can't have that. Why? Because it what? Costs too much. It's too expensive. We can't afford it. And I decided, you know what? I am not going to live like that. If we live in a world of abundance, why should I do without? So these are the rules that Lynn and I agreed to. I'm not going to say that to her. She's not going to say that to me. Everybody gets what they want. We're not going to live in this mental, small-minded mindset of lack, want, limitation, and need. We're going to have our lives exactly the way we want. So we designed our life and we designed our finances. Rule number 1, everybody gets what they want. Rule number 2, you can't break the other rules to get it. Rule number 3, before you go buy anything, a liability, you have to buy an asset that'll cover it. You have to buy an asset that creates enough cash flow to pay for it. So I'm telling you right now, I don't care what other people drive. I'm glad she has a Mercedes. I'm sad she's in the bread line. But get this, I think everybody should own a Mercedes. They're great cars, or whatever car you want. You should have whatever you want. Question is, how do you get it? How do you get it without putting yourself at risk? So if and when another financial disaster hits, you're prepared and you don't end up at category 3. That's my point. So I'm not here to tell anybody else how to think or how to live or any of that, because none of my business. I'm just telling you what I learned. Hopefully it'll help. So what I learned, first of all, there's no such thing as scarcity. So I started looking for a business to buy. So I found this business. And I love this business, but it has no inventory, no accounts receivable, and you have to buy real estate courses if you want to like. You have to buy the product. The product is a required purchase. No inventory, no accounts receivable, and the customers have to buy the product. So now what do? You just make it better. So I want to go back to the Mercedes-Benz and the food line again. If you understand leverage and doing more with less, understand you get to the point you do everything with nothing. I mean, look at this. I'm talking to hundreds of people right now from my kitchen. The world is designed to change. Everything is changing. So first of all, do your best to understand this, that there's no such thing as scarcity. That we live in a world of abundance. It's amazing what one person can do if they understand how to leverage themselves. So first comprehend this. Then work on this every day. Financially, your wealth is the ability to survive blank days into the future. There are 3 conditions. Number 1, you can no longer work for money. Number 2, you cannot lower your standard of living. Number 3, you cannot sell assets or convert anything you own to cash. So if you stop working for money today, did not lower your standard of living, which means you didn't move out of your house into a condo, or out of your condo or apartment under the bridge. You have to maintain your standard of living. So if you stop working for money today, didn't lower your standard of living, and did not convert anything to cash, how many days could you survive financially into the future? Write the number in the blank. And that's part of the problem. People aren't prepared for this. As long as the party is roaring on, everyone's fine. But all parties end, and this party just ended. And I hear all these people talking about this bounce back. Let's get back. Let's get back. Let's get back to normal. Let's get back to normal. You may not recognize normal because there's no normal. The world is designed to change. So my question is, how much risk are you taking? And to me, you'll get a safe, secure. There's just no such thing. So to me, I have to become more valuable to everybody. And the more valuable I become, the more money I make. The more problems I solve, the more money I make. The byproduct of me becoming valuable to others, the byproduct of me solving bigger problems for others, the byproduct is I get paid. So the goal is not the money. The goal is solving the problem, become of use, and become valuable. The measurement is money. Money's not the goal. It's a byproduct. So this is the old paradigm. Exchange labor for money. That's what we were taught. Be good, do as you're told, make good grades, get a good job, work hard, save your money, invest for the long term. Holy mackerel. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, I think it's risky. And the goal to me is to manage risk. So that's why I chose the business that I chose. It's low risk. The problem is people they've taken too many risks financially. So I don't care what anybody drives, but to me, it's not about owning Mercedes. The question is who paid for it? Who paid for it? Okay. So to me, making money is just a game. Becoming financially independent, where you don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm not interested in sacking it all up in the corner and staring at it. I just don't want to worry about it. I want to be able to go and do and have without wondering, well, how much does it cost? I can't afford it. It's too expensive. It costs too much. I don't want. I'm not going to live that way. So instead, I ask myself two questions: what if I could do it? What if and how? They're two questions that will make you rich, improve your life, give you creative thoughts. What if and how? What if and how? Write it down. What if I could do that? How would I do it? So this is what I ask myself every day. What if I could do that? How would I do it? I did this morning. What if I could do Facebook Live? Yeah, that'd be great. I could talk to a lot of people from my kitchen. Well, how would I do it? Well, I'm probably going to go screw it up a bunch of times before I figure it out because I don't know how to do this. Well, here I am, the stumbling, bumbling buffoon, doing what I'm telling you to do. Go out and successfully discover what it is you don't know. I've been doing it for 40 years now. But I figure this out. So my question to you, let's pretend that your life is a game and this becoming financially free is a game. Right now, we're all been put in timeout. We've been forced to go hide at home, right? Right. Not everybody. Those of you watching this, you might be watching it from home. So if this is a game, let's just consider this break. Let's consider this halftime. Now go look at your score. By score, I mean your grade, your report card. Your report card, the adult version of a report card is your balance sheet. So go look at your balance sheet. This is halftime. The game is called financial freedom, financial independence. No more worrying about money. If that's the game, and it ought to be, because if you don't have any now and you're sweating it, then that should be your game. The question I have is, are you going to play the second half like you played the first half? And if you're not, then what are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently? So I'll go into that here. So, tax code. You've probably seen this before. W-2 income, what's the first thing they do? Earn. What's the second thing that happens? What happens immediately after that? The government steps in and takes their share. And the crumbs that are left over, you get to what? Well, there you go. That's the IRS for you right there. This is why it's great to own a business, okay? Because if you have 1099 or business income, the first thing you do, obviously, is earn. And then the second thing you do is spend. So I don't mind her buying a Mercedes. The thing is, she bought the Mercedes-Benz, he or she. The Mercedes-Benz was probably, they're in the food bank because the Mercedes-Benz was bought here with after-tax dollars. If you had a company, you could have bought it here and the government would have paid for it for you. You wouldn't be in a food line anymore because you understand how the financial system works. That the IRS rewards investors and business owners. Trump's about to pay me. He's going to pay my employees for me, which is great because I want to keep them. And we haven't let anybody go yet. And we're not going to. But it's nice that the government's going to pay them for me. Well, it's not all they pay for me. They pay for our cars. They pay for our vacations. They're going to go to meals. They've been paying 50% of the meals. So every time I see people clip a coupon, let me clip me a coupon, give me half off a lunch. You can go out now, so the government would allow you, but it's a legitimate business expense, to deduct 50% of your meals, right? Right. So every time you eat out, it's a twofer. If it's a legitimate business expense. Trump is going to make this 100%. Is going to drive traffic back into the restaurants by giving business owners like us 100% deductions on meals. So will I be enticed to go eat out more often? No. But if and when I do, I'm getting a deduction, 100% deduction for the meal. So this is why I'm suggesting as you look forward into your plan. So look back, see what you've done, look forward, see what you're going to do. How can you take advantage of this time to reconsider some of the decisions that we've made, what our results are, and what we can do differently or better going forward? If you like where you are, congratulations. If you don't, I get it. I don't like where I am, but I like the corrections I made for getting my butt kicked back in the 80s because I got pounded. I mean, I was beat about the head and shoulders for a while. So, what do we do? How do we do this? Number one, I don't care about how other people spend their money. What I'm saying is this. I'm not opposed to this. It's who pays for it. So most of the consumption I do is right here. And then at the end, what's left over gets taxed. So I decrease my tax consequence by taking these legitimate IRS sanctioned expenses right here. This is why the IRS code is so popular with some people. It's about to get better. So the question is, where does the money come from and where does it go to? So see, a lot of people, they're going out, they want to get a raise so they can make more. They're going back to school to get a better education, to get a better job. That's a dead dog loser because this is taxed at the highest rate. Ordinary income, it's the highest tax bracket. So every time you get a raise, the government gets one. It's crazy. Here, so you have good income, bad income. You have good debt, you have bad debt. Some people say, make more money. Great idea, but how's it taxed? It's not how much you make, it's how you spend. It's not how much you make, it's how you spend and how much you keep. Right? Okay. So it's not about consumption. I think that everybody should own a Mercedes Benz. But all I'm suggesting is you get this to pay for it. Not your hard work. Hard work? Mm-mm. It's an overrated activity and everybody knows that. It's your investments to pay for your consumption. Buy everything under the sun. Just get someone else to pay for it. When's the only time in your life you ever borrow money? When someone else pays it back. So everything we own is paid for by the government, a customer, or a tenant. The government through deductions, a customer, or a tenant. Not me working. Laziness is a key to success. Write it down. Laziness. You want to be lazy, 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 lazy. Just keep asking yourself, who can I get to do this for me? Find somebody who's really, really good where you're weak, that's really, really smart where you're not so smart, who's really skilled where you're not so skilled, and put your team together and get it balanced and bring in those experts and those people and let them love what they do and you love what you do and you build a company. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. We're getting close. So that's it. The saying is, a fool in his, you probably heard the saying, right? Fool in his money. A fool and his money are one big party, and this party's over. A lot of people didn't even go to the party. There are a lot of people that never even went to the party having a hangover. So this was totally predictable. 1983 to 83 was the oil crash. 85 was the real estate crash. 87 was a stock market crash. It all kind of came back together in 1992. We had a great run through the Clinton years. 2000, tech crashed. 2008, mortgage markets crashed. 2020, pandemic, economies crashed. So as you can see, 85, 2000, 2008, 2020, there's going to be another one. So if you can look back, see what you probably couldn't or shouldn't have done, and just fix that going forward, then maybe the next time one of these rolls around, instead of seeing it as a problem, maybe you see it as an opportunity. Because I'm going to tell you, there are going to be a lot of opportunities out there. There's lots of opportunity. It's just having the ability to see them. So here's what I would do. This is what I did. This is what I do in a crash. First thing I'm going to suggest you do is preserve cash. You have 5 valuable assets: cash, credit, time, energy, and money. We have to be good stewards of our resources. Cash, credit, time, energy, and money. Preserve cash. Call your lenders and negotiate with them. Everybody you owe, every credit card issuer, everybody, get them on the phone and call. I guarantee you they're expecting your call. They're expecting your call, and you won't be the first one that's called them asking for relief. So just call them up and go, "You heard about the virus, right?" "Yeah, I've heard of it." "Okay, so I'm asking for some relief. Can you help me?" "Yes, I'd be glad to help you." "Okay, thank you. What can we do?" "I want to pay you. I'm not a deadbeat loser. I'm just stuck in this little problem that a lot of people are having right now. It's a black hole that you are in and I'm in too, and you have the same problems I have. So can you help me, and what can you do for me?" Hold on to your cash. I see people all the time. They spend cash, spend cash, spend cash, trying to stay afloat. Then they go into the sinkhole. Then they file bankruptcy. Now they have no cash and no credit. That's the stupidest thing you could ever do. So don't do that. You gotta think. Okay? Keep your cash, because if you end up having to file bankruptcy, 7, 11, 13, whatever chapter is, you're going to need your cash because your credit's going to be gone because you just filed bankruptcy. So when you do everything you can do to preserve your cash and your credit. Stay lendable. Stay lendable. Keep your credit. Get and keep your credit intact. Pay those lenders. I'm not suggesting you don't pay those lenders. We need to pay, and we need to keep our financial agreements and pay everybody we owe, every penny we owe. However, today in this environment, this survival environment we're in, negotiate with your lenders. Call them, ask them, can we push some debt down the road without you ruining my credit? I'm going to pay you. I want to pay you. I just can't pay you everything I owe you today. I'm going to send you a little. Can't send it all. Hoard your cash. Preserve your cash. Push that debt down the road. Negotiate with your lenders. Okay? Push that down the road. Then look around and get rid of all your liabilities. Everything you own is taking money out of your pocket. Go get rid of it. See if you can get rid of it. Dump it. Take it. Get rid of it. Next thing I would suggest is think about the best business to be in, one that will survive a catastrophe. What's the best business to be in? Next thing is invest, then consume. Invest, then consume. Invest, then consume. This is what Glenn and I did in 1989. I mean, had $5,000. I wanted to go buy a big screen TV. Instead, we bought a 16-unit apartment building 2 blocks from UT. And that $5,000, we put $3,000 down on a $90,000 sale, kept it for years, exchanged it into another property, kept that for years, and rolled out of that thing at 2.65. So that $3,000 turned into over $2.5 million. Yeah, it took 20 years, but we got there. And you can get there too, just a little bit at a time. So think about investing before you consume. Have your investments pay for your consumption. You should have luxuries. Question is, who pays for them? It should be your tenants, the customers, or the government. Okay, number 6, do your best to get out of this habit of exchanging labor for money. Do what you do very, very well. I know this gal, great gal, used to work for me. She made the most beautiful artist design cakes. Couldn't tell it was a cake. You couldn't even tell it was a cake. It looked like a piece of art. You're going to touch it, it's icing on your finger. Beautiful. She's so talented, incredible, smart, unbelievable. I think she's making cakes. So my advice, become a cake consultant. Teach people how to bake cakes. Teach people how to design cakes. Turn your skill into a business. Turn your skill. If you have something you're very, very good at, most excellent at, don't sell yourself short by putting an hourly wage on yourself. Go turn that into a business. Okay, take advantage, next thing. So stop exchanging labor for money. Next, number 7, take advantage of the tax code. Do your best. Go find a good accountant, show them your financials and say, look, I want to take advantage of the tax code. What do I do? You real estate agents listening, please go set up a little company. Go find a good accountant. Set up a chapter, either a sub S or an LLC or whatever your accountant recommends. I'm not giving you entity building advice except to create one and take advantage of all the legal deductions afforded to you by the Internal Revenue Service. They're not your enemy unless you don't pay them. If you don't pay them, they're going to be your enemy. If I didn't pay you, I'd be your enemy. so, so pay people, but take advantage of the deductions. There's nothing wrong with it. Number 8, apply the principle of leverage to everything you do. Get up and think about, okay, how can I do nothing and get everything done? How can I do nothing and get everything done? How can I do so much more with so much less that I do everything with nothing? 9, think about wealth. Wealth, wealth. Every day be thinking about wealth. How can I survive longer into the future without working, lowering my standard of living, or selling stuff? How many days can I survive? How can I extend that number? Okay, the next one, be open-minded. Get up, brush your hair, get the crust out your eyes, open up your brain and your ear, and look, because you're going to see opportunities. They're going to be disguised as work or problems, but they're out there. Just remember, next one, money is created. Money is created. Wealth is built over time. Money is created. The days of exchanging labor for money are over if you want them to be. Ideas, money is created. It's created with an idea. Look around. You see all these problems people are having? Start solving those. They'll pay you. Look around your house right now. Most of the things you bought to solve a problem that you have. That toaster solves the problem. That egg poacher solves a problem. That frying pan solves a problem. A spatula solves a problem. That mixer solves a problem. That air conditioner solves a problem. The car solves a problem. Your cell phone solves a problem. Most of the things you bought because they solve a problem that you had. So go find someone's problem and solve it for them. The bigger the problem, the bigger the check. Last one. Next one. Look for a paradigm shift. Look for somebody messing with the rules. The rules are going to continue to change. They're going to continue to move. I asked you 3 weeks ago, and we covered this paradigm session, to go watch this video, Humans Need Not Apply. Forget applying. There's no sense in getting a job that's going to be replaced in a couple of years by a robot or a supercomputer. Look for opportunities that will survive the pandemics. Look for opportunities that will survive catastrophes. They're out there. They're staring right at you. Everything is changing. I mean, what do we have right now? I heard yesterday 55 million children are now not at school but at home with their parents. Is that a problem? Maybe. 60 million people out of work. They're at home with their kids who aren't in school. Is that a problem? Maybe. 20 million people with 5 unemployment. Is that a problem? Maybe. It's all the point of view. Some see problems, some people see opportunities. You can choose how you see the world. If you got toxic people in your life, get rid of them. Read books about people who have been successful, how to handle crisis. Make yourself a plan. Oh my God, oil's at $5 a barrel. That's bad. Maybe. I think gas prices are coming down. You know what? It should be coming down. Oil should be $5. It's negative $5 right now. They're paying people $5 per barrel to get rid of it. Yesterday, I think it's up today. I'm watching. Watch CNBC. That's what I've got on over here. It'll tell you what the markets are doing. Okay. Any questions? I'll end the way I started. Thank you for your time. If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. If you have any questions for me, email me. Email me info@buildmyrebusiness.com. info@buildmyrebusiness.com. Just email me. Happy to take your emails. Join the Facebook. Go to the Facebook, the Real Estate Business School Facebook Collaborative, and join the collaborative. And we can communicate that way in a group. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Do that for us, please. If you got something out of this, go write me a Google review. I got some people who don't understand technology and said some bad things about me because they couldn't figure out how to work. If you could balance that out by saying something nice about us, we would appreciate that. So we're available if you don't have any questions, concerns, or considerations. If you'd like to give us advice on topics you'd like to hear, please tell us, and we'll be happy to do those in the next Facebook. Wednesday is with Wayne, next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And I think that's it. Thank you for your time. Let's go out and make it a better world. See you next week. Bye, y'all. See you later.